Okay, so do I regret Yelan? And yeah, there's no. Like, she is very, very good. Like, there is, like, sure. She basically lost 90% of, like, her usefulness on my account, I would say. Because furina coming out along with Sinew, now that I have both of those, I'm not running Hu Tao with double Hydro, right? And I'm not running Diluc at all, really. Well, so that one's gone. But, I mean, Uemiya is still an option, but Uemiya's kind of fallen off, so I don't really like using her.
See, I didn't know I came here to be disrespected.
But what I do like using, and what I do like with Yelan, is how I can just come here, and this is a... I wonder if Mono Hydro here... Like, hold on, I'm trying to find it. Do I have it? Do I not have it? Okay, I don't have it, like, set up. Wait, I do have it set up. I just replaced Jean, Kokomi. Yeah. So... I do actually wonder if this outputs more damage than Uemiya. I would not be surprised if someone said it did. Yeah, that's pretty sad. But this is a very fun team that I like using. I'll show it off just a little bit. I mean, it's not really that great of a showing, but I will show it off just a little bit. It's just a team that I like using. And at this point, I think that's where Yelan sits. Because I like using her, and she's very useful, right? I'll use double Hydro Risley for Abyss because I'm using a whole bunch of my other supports for Arlecchino, right? You know, I'll do that for Abyss, right? Okay, Furina just got slapped up. All right. Yeah, you know, like, and then she has great animation. She does a lot of good off-field damage, right? She's not a bad character, but this is not necessarily, like, what she used to be, I would say. I feel like after, you know, 4.0, she just got worse. So, yeah. I like this team. This is actually a really fun team for me to play, just because there is basically no danger of you dying, right? Kokomi normally has more HP, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, she does. She's missing 2 artifacts. That would do it. Normally Kokomi has like 40 to 50k HP or something like that. This time she just doesn't. But yeah, this team is really fun, and I have used it in Abyss a couple times. Not necessarily when I was, you know, being super serious about it, but this team is a very competent team, very useful, very good, and I do just like doing it because it's very, you know, just straightforward, pop everyone's burst, get it done over with, right? There's no pressure when you're using this team other than possibly doing not enough damage, which isn't necessarily a very common occurrence. I've had it a couple times. I've had it to where a couple times it ends up like that, right? But never to the point where I'm like, this team sucks, right? But if we look at this, I mean, I also use her for my Hyperbloom team, but however, I haven't used my Hyperbloom team in a while because we've now had DPSs that release and are just far above Hyperbloom, because rather than being single target and really good damage, they are AoE really good damage, basically, right? But other than that, I don't have many other Yelan teams that I, you know, use, because there's just very, very little that Yelan is useful for compared to, you know, not useful, but optimal, I would say. Because, like, this is the team that you run, basically. Well, not Farazan and Zhao, but, like, so if you're using Diluc, Gaming, or Hu Tao, this is basically their best team. They share the exact same team as, like, sort of their best. The one that you can sort of switch out is Bennett, and you can sort of maybe replace him with not Kazuha. Kazuha would actually make it worse. Unless you plan to swirl Hydro, then it would be fine, but overall, you would want to maybe, you know, replace him so you're not in Circle Impact, right? But I don't necessarily know who you would replace with. Maybe Zhongli, but then again, you're already healing, so eh. But yeah, this is Gaming, Diluc, and, you know, Hu Tao's best team, which sort of invalidates, like, Yelan being a very good option for Hu Tao, because this used to be sort of the team that people would run. They would go ahead, they would grab Yelan, Xingqiu, and this would be a good team that people run. That would used to be Hu Tao's best team, but then we got Sinyun to come out, and now it's just no. It just doesn't work, right? And you can add Furina to this team instead of, you know, Xingqiu. That is one thing, right? Once you have enough, like, Hydro, you can sort of swap out this team, and, you know, it's more of, like, optimal, because, like, if I'm gonna use a character, especially like Hu Tao, who I don't necessarily like that much, honestly, like, I may have her triple crown, but that is purely, oh, she's dead. I may have her triple crown, but that is purely for YouTube, right? Because she used to be a really strong character back in the day, and then, yeah, back in the day, I said that unironically. You know, it's been almost 4 years, all right? Hopefully we get 30 summons this year.
Stupid!
I'll probably put a moment of silence in the edit. All right. But seriously, 407 elemental mastery. What are you on, bro? Why does she have so much elemental mastery? She's only getting 187 from artifacts. Oh yeah, that would do it. Yeah, she doesn't have Homa because like I said, I don't use this character a lot, right? I just gave my Xiao staff of Homa because it's a better fit. I use Xiao like 10 times more often, honestly, at this point. Unless I'm doing a DPS showcase, I'm not using Hu Tao, right? So even with like the, Hu Tao and stuff. So, and it's important to note that this is a do I regret summoning for Yelan, and even still, like, it's just, she is just a really fun character to use when I can use her, and when I, want to sort of get a little weird and do this team, right? Because I've used this team for overworld bosses and stuff, and I guess I should point out that technically, Arlecchino, her best team would be to remove Zhongli here and put Yelan here. But the issue with that is it makes Yelan, or not Yelan, it makes this team's combo just like a little bit harder to use compared to what it is. And Arlecchino's already destroying everything anyways, so it's just like I don't really need that, right? Arlecchino doesn't need Yelan no matter, like, dude, Arlecchino, I'm not joking when I say this is the team I will run in Abyss. I have used Official Overload without Chevy because I don't have Chevy on my account. I've used that unironically in Abyss because Arlecchino is that dumb powerful to the point where I don't have to care what my team looks like. Arlecchino will just win me the fight no matter what with raw damage. Yeah, and I don't really necessarily, I can't think of like other characters that I would use Yelan with. It's just purely at this point I like using her, and that's all I can really say about her. And it's not like that one thing I can say is she's not a character where it's like I like using her but then another version of her comes out, because let's be real, Yelan, well, yeah, Furina replaced her in a lot of instances. She's not the same, I would say. Like, Furina versus Yelan is sort of different in the way that you do her. She's not necessarily draining your HP and stuff, and that's really all you could say about, like, they play very, like, Yelan is, like, a easier to use Furina, and then Furina just, like, if you're using her, you want to heal, you want to be able to, fluctuate your HP, but Yelan, she's not the same character, and I don't think that we're going to get a Hydro off-field applicator anytime soon, I'm gonna be honest. This girl came out in 2.8 and it took till 4.0 with the Archon, well, technically like 4.2 or something, but I'm just rounding up. All right, we're rounding down, I guess, whatever. But it took like a whole update series in order to get sort of the same thing. Like, it's just they're not gonna release another Hydro applicator, like off-field Hydro applicator, that is like anywhere near like the power, because you can't do Kokomi either. Like, Kokomi just is not as good as Yelan, because Kokomi, if her jellyfish isn't hitting the opponent, that's the entire fight, dude. You lost the entire fight because Kokomi's jellyfish doesn't hit the opponent, right? So in terms of the Hydro applicators off field, I just don't see another one coming out anytime soon. I don't. Like, I seriously think that Yelan, she will be like, she is still just really good. It's just that she doesn't have like she's just not as optimal as she used to be, but that doesn't make her bad, right? She's still like, if you're running, I don't know, it was some other team that I was thinking of. So yeah, overall, I think that's just my thoughts on Yelan at this point. Nowhere near a bad character. She's still very good. It's just, I feel like people might take this the wrong way, even though I've been like sort of dogging on her like most of the time. They're probably gonna be like, oh, she's optimal in this team that, probably like 1% of players play, I feel like. Because I'm real, if you're not playing a main DPS character, I feel like that's just like, you're automatically like in like the 2% of players, right? And I would consider like Nilou a main DPS player. And I mean, even on Nilou team, I don't think you want Yelan. You would rather have like just Kokomi or someone else, or Furina, right? So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.